Toastmaster Radhika, I guess you're not audible.
She's joining in again, Sahil.
Okay.
Am I audible and visible?
You're audible but not visible.
Toastmaster Radhika, is there a network issue from your end?
Am I audible now?
Yes, Toastmaster Radhika, you're there.
So sorry for all the inconvenience. It seems like I'm having terrible network issues. So let's just continue like that. So a very good evening for Toastmasters and guests. It's hard to turn on the next page when you know someone won't be there in the next chapter. But the story must go on for that chapter to end and a new chapter to begin. Because life is all about change. Let's march forward into a new journey. In fact,
Toastmaster Radhika, your network is again going weak, I guess. Okay, let me continue on her behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, very welcome to this wonderful meeting, 161st meeting of Elite Toastmasters Club. Well, the journey, as you can see, sometimes we do face falls in our life, but the way to come out of these halls is all about Toastmasters. Toastmasters does give you these skills where you face challenges, where you are kept into difficult situations, and you're provided with the expertise to come out from these situations. Similar thing happened today, and I'm sure Toastmaster Radhika will find out a way to come out from these challenging situations. To start off with, let me mention few ground rules that we expect you all to follow. Number one, we request you to keep your camera on and your audio off until and unless someone asks you to unmute yourself. Number two, you're requested not to talk about sex, politics, or religion in a derogatory manner. And rule number three, we are expected not to use short forms that we usually tend to use, that is TM, TMOD, etc. Rather, let us use Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the Day, General Evaluator, etc. Now, with a huge round of applause, let me hand over this meeting, this very meeting of Elite Toastmasters Club, to our presiding officer, stand-in president of today, Toastmaster Jitesh Thakkar. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster side, I hope I'm audible. Okay. So good evening and welcome you all to the 161st meeting of Elite Toastmasters Club, and therefore consider and declare the meeting open. This is the first meeting after the new tenure, after the renewal cycle, a new beginning, but the same old motives of it's the same journey and the same thing, the legacy of the Toastmasters. Therefore, in this 6 months of the renewal cycle, there are a lot of Toastmasters who come and go, but in this 6 months, a lot of new members may join, and therefore the evergreen legacy of the Toastmasters International remains intact. And recently, there are 2 members who have joined our club, so I would like to introduce them to the club. Therefore, I request Toastmaster Ayush to please share the flyers. Toastmaster Ayush. Okay, so I'd like to welcome Toastmaster Jigisha Khenka to the club of Elite Toastmasters. Can we have a huge round of applause? Please, everyone, unmute themselves.
Thank you so much.
So Jigisha Khenka is a girl who had accountancy as a profession. Moving on, we have another member who has joined recently. Ayush, can you please share the screen? Therefore, the next member who joined our club recently is Toastmaster Deepraj Das, and I would like to congratulate him on a new journey which is ahead of him. Welcome Toastmaster Deepraj Das to the Elite Toastmasters Club. He's someone who is a real estate professional and he's someone who believes in making every effort count. Moving on, next announcement that I'd like to make is that of the Sergeant Arms. So from today onwards, the executive committee has decided of inducting Toastmaster Radhika as the new Sergeant Arms for the Elite Toastmasters Club. Therefore, I'd like to anyone to unmute themselves and second the decision, please.
Yeah, I second the decision.
Okay, so being a part of the elective committee is a big thing, and therefore a lot of tests are ahead. So we wish Toastmaster Radhika a wonderful journey ahead, and all the best, Toastmaster Radhika. Toastmaster Radhika is one of the youngest leaders of the club. She is Associate VP membership. She is a hardworking and a devoted Toastmaster, someone who wears a charming smile and someone who can go beyond the limits for the club. Therefore, all the best, Toastmaster Radhika, and congratulations for this achievement. We are looking forward for you to have a great journey ahead. So now, there's another announcement that I'd like to make of that of a membership orientation program. Can you please share the screen, Ayush? Ayush, are you there? So the membership orientation program is going to take place on 7th April, Wednesday, where all the members of the club who are new to the club and all the guests present here can also attend so that they can learn about the Toastmasters, learn about everything, how Toastmasters work, about the pathways and all the relating. I'd like to share the link. Just a second. Give me a second. I'll share the link.
I've shared the link, Jitesh.
Okay, so you can register via that link, and during the curation, I'd like to have an introduction of all the guests. So I can see a lot of guests present in the meeting. So Toastmaster guest Amit Kumar, can you introduce yourself of how do you came to know about Toastmasters and about yourself a little bit?
Yeah, hi. Thank you for introducing me. Good evening, everyone. My name is Amit Kumar. I'm from Punjab, and I studied mechanical engineering from an IT Chandar. And here in Calcutta, I'm working in ITC Limited as a product manager. And answering about how I came to know about Toastmaster, like I'm preparing for my MBA studied this year, and I have done a couple of research, and I think Toastmaster is one of the medium through which I can really improve on my communication and leadership skill. So that's why I'm very honestly, I'm looking forward to learn in this meetings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guest Amit. We love to have you and it's a pleasure to have you. We hope you'll enjoy the meeting today.
Yeah.
Moving
great.
on to our next guest. Guest Shruti Raj, can you introduce yourself and how you came to know about Toastmasters?
First of all, good evening, everyone. My name is Shruti, and about Toastmaster, I have been knowing about a year ago, but in my hometown, it wasn't there. So I have just shifted to a new city, and here I came. Actually, I was knowing Toastmaster from one of the content creator. His name is Rahul Bhatnagar. Rahul sir has told me, us about in his video. He has told about Toastmaster Club, and there I came to know about Toastmaster. And I have a little bit of interest in, so not little bit, but a keen interest in public speaking. So that's why I've come to a new city. I've shifted, and it's obviously a metropolitan city. So I have just searched on Google where the Toastmaster Club. So I just came to know about it from the Google and all, and I've just contacted you people.
Okay, that's really great. We love to have you in this today's meeting, and if you love public speaking, then this is the club for you. Moving on, we'd like to have the introduction of guest Kanishka.
Hi, am I audible? Okay, I'm audible. Right. Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Kanishka Agarwal. I'm a second year student from St. Xavier's. I had actually participated in Unoya a few days ago. I'm not sure when the exact dates were, but I won the Devil's Advocate, and I'm very keen about debating. But public speaking gives me a lot of anxiety in general. Though I have engaged in public speaking before and I have addressed crowds, it still makes me very anxious. So Toastmasters I see as an opportunity where I could possibly reduce that and become better at public speaking in general. And that's why I'm at the meeting today. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you so much, guest Kanishka. You are at the right place if you want to increase your public speaking skills. And as a debater, congratulations for you for winning the Unoya as well. So moving on to our next guest Sanskar Shah. Yes, Sanskar Shah, are you there?
Hello.
Yeah, you're audible.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sanskar Shah, currently in the first year in St. Xavier's College, Kolkata, and pursuing my CA Inter right now. I came to know about this club from one of the Toastmasters, Toastmaster Ishikawa, and I'm looking forward to today's session. I'm really excited to know how it goes along.
Thank you so much, guest Sanskar. We love to have you in this meeting, and we hope that you'll enjoy the meeting. We have our next guest Sumit Barua. You are unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, hi, this is Sumit. I got to know about the courses from the Good Google itself. So that's what I'm from Assam, and I'm here in Kolkata since like a week here, weekend so I'm looking for public speaking courses, and so I have interest on it. So I got to know from at Google. One of the guy with whom I spoke, he asked me to join a meeting to understand better way what is all about the courses. So that's it.
Thank you so much, guest Sumit. We hope that you love the meeting today, and we also hope that you'll enjoy the session.
Yeah.
So we have any other guests left? Can anyone confirm, please? I can see guest Sujal. Yes, Sujal, are you there?
Yeah.
Can you please switch on your video as well? It would be great.
Sorry, it's not possible. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I am Sujal Khandelwal, and I am from Kolkata, and I am a student in Xavier's College, and yeah, I am pursuing chartered accountant, and I already attended one meeting of Toastmasters, and the meeting was awesome. The much good, and yeah, everyone is very much friendly, and it really helps to increase our communication skill. So yeah, that's why I joined the meeting again. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that positive feedback. We are looking forward for you to join and become a Toastmaster as soon as possible, as it is a second meeting. Moving on, we have Palash Patra. Are you there, Palash Patra? I don't. Yes, Toastmaster guest Palash Patra, are you there?
Yes, I'm Bas Patro from Kolkata. So, especially I am a yoga trainer and have my client also. His name is his name Akash Rao. He also informed me and just speak that if you build your communication skill so well, then please join the Calcutta Yoga Club and the Toastmaster session and. After that, he also sent me the link, and after that, I joined this meeting. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Palash Patra. We love to have you. I hope you enjoy the meeting. Now, moving on, we have other two announcements that I like to make. Please bear with me. There are a lot of announcements. I know I'm boring you all, but just for a second, Ayush, can you please share the screen? So this is a hybrid joint meeting that we're going to plan. For the ones who don't know what a hybrid meeting is all about, where a hybrid meeting is where you can join the meeting offline and online. So this meeting is going to be conducted on the venue of the Computer Association of Eastern India, which is on the Shakespeare Sarni Road. So it is a meeting with Elite Toastmasters Club and a joint meeting with City of Joy Toastmasters Club. So who all are available offline and are in Kolkata can go and join the meeting and see the basic offline ambience of the Toastmasters Club. So we hope you will be there. The meeting will be conducted on the next week, 11th of April at 11 p.m. Sunday, 11 a.m. Sorry. So moving on, next announcement, which is the last probably. So I would like to congratulate the Elite Toastmasters Club, the main PR team, for winning the award of the design wizards. Kudos to our VP PR, Ayush Modi, for working so hard and the whole team of the PR working so hard in achieving this goal. Can we have a huge round of applause? I would like anyone to unmute themselves and have a huge round of applause for them. Thank you so much, everyone. So now I'd like to pass on the mic to a person who I know as the Area K3 table topic champion. She is a champion of public speaker and she is a sincere Toastmaster and someone whom I know is a fun-loving person. She is just as good as you can expect, and therefore, without wasting any much time, let's pass on the mic to the Toastmaster today. Toastmaster Ishika, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jitesh. And can we keep it going for the standing president of today, the backbone of Elite, the vice president membership of Elite Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Jitesh. Also, the person who has a nickname of the Tech Master of Toastmaster. So can we have a huge round of applause for him? Before starting, I'd like to say something to you. And please, whatever I'm saying right now should stay just between us. What happens in the 161th meeting of Elite Toastmasters Club has to stay in the 161th meeting of Elite Toastmasters Club. I want to confess something in front of you all. I am a huge overthinker. I need constant reassurance that what I'm doing is right and people are enjoying it. So I'm sure a lot of you feel what I'm feeling right now. From one overthinker to another, amigos, please help me out. Switch on your cameras so that I can know I'm doing a good job and you are having a good time here. Even during COVID, your Saturday nights are lit as it would have been without COVID. So I'll give you 5 seconds to switch on your camera, and it's not a compulsion, but it would really mean a lot to me and a lot to all other speakers who are going to come on stage. It looks so beautiful, cameras turning on one after the other, the rippling effect that happens on Zoom screen. Amazing. So I think whoever could come, they did. People who cannot, please make time and switch on your camera. We'd like to see you and remove the barriers of the online meeting. Without further ado, let's get started. Life is all about beautiful new beginnings. The only thing constant in life is change. But do you know, new beginnings mean different things to different people. Today, in this meeting, we are going to discuss the different views that people have for new beginnings. And then we are going to talk about different metaphors and different visions and come up with a meaning that suits everyone. Well, I think I could not have chosen a better day to use this topic of new beginnings. Today is a new beginning of so many different things. Like Toastmaster Jitesh said, it is the new beginning of a new session of Toastmasters, the session of April to September 2021. It is a new financial year for so many CAs and to be CAs out here. April 2021 to March 2022. Am I right? Rings a bell, right? It's a new beginning to two new Toastmasters, Toastmaster Jagisha and Toastmasters Deep Raj. It's a new beginning to the speakers who are gonna come up on stage today. It's gonna be new years for so many of us out there, right, on 15th of April. So it's full of new beginnings. And Toastmaster is also full of new beginnings. The three segment in which a Toastmasters meeting is divided will tell you how. The first segment is a prepared speech segment where the speaker starts a new journey every single time they come on stage. They prepare a speech, they revise it, they practice it, they get it mentored. They do a lot of hard work and come in front of you to present a piece of their heart. The second and the most interesting one for me is the table topic section. Do you know, I feel table topic section has the ability to change your life, give you a 360-degree turn. Because while you're speaking, something might strike in your mind and you might have a revelation and you'll never look at world the same way again. So impromptu speakings are definitely good. Why don't you try it when our table topic master will come up on stage today later in this segment? And the last and the most beautiful segment is the evaluation segment. I think if one thing is that on which every single person agrees is that new beginnings is about learning and starting stronger than what you came. And that's what evaluation segment is all about. Every speaker who comes on podium is evaluated and given feedbacks, is applauded for the things they did well, so that they can go through a new journey and make themselves a better version of what they are today. To know more about this segment in detail, help me welcome the general evaluator for today's session. When I asked her which new beginning was or is she most excited about, she told me that she was very excited about getting into college because she was under the impression that college changes everything. But I'm sure we all can agree that it is not the case. And that's what she felt after she started her college. Also, when I asked her what new beginning symbolizes to her, she said that new beginnings to her meant growth and movements. With a thunderous round of applause, help me welcome Toastmaster Shruti Srivastava as a general evaluator for today's meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ishika. That was a brilliant introduction. And I would want you all to keep a round of applause going for our brilliant Toastmaster of the day. And that is pretty much the norm, I suppose, right? So let me go on talking about not the obvious things. Since the theme of the meeting is new beginnings, many of you are guests here and many of you have inducted this journey of being a Toastmaster, and many of you are already embarked upon this journey and want to improve. Everyone is starting a new beginning in one way or the other. And what would you look up to when you are starting something new? You look up to feedback. You look up to incorporating that feedback so that you can be version 1.1. Toastmaster Ishikawa Agarwal is better than Toastmaster Ishikawa Agarwal version 0.5, isn't it? Because every day there should be one thing that changes in us. Either we notice it or not, but it does. I will help you embark and incorporate those changes in you, because I will be evaluating you with my brigade of checkpoints that will make you a better speaker every time you hit that stage and grab that mic. Moving forward, my job is very, very simple, but not very simple actually. I will be taking a note on your various aspects of speaking, which is your English language, which is the time that you would take, which are the crutch words that you might use, and your overall presentation of your speech while you are speaking. But I will not do this all alone, because it is not simple, and we all are in this together, just how we all are in this together in this pandemic. Moving ahead, I would now like to call upon stage my team of tag role players. By tag means, yes, they are the tags of Toastmaster as a brand. Yes, they keep you in place and they help you remain branded. The first one who is going to come here is the timer. TAG, timer. First one, I would like to call up on stage my the timer of the day, who is Toastmaster. Let me tell you, he's also the VPPR. If you see beautiful posters hitting your mobile phones and your WhatsApp web versions, you have to know that who is the person behind making those beautiful posters. This is Toastmaster Ayush. Can we have you on stage and explain your role to people?
Thank you so much, Shruti, for that wonderful introduction. Now, as I've been already been introduced, I won't say my name again. Today, I've been assigned the role of managing the very precious resource on the planet. We all know it, we all have it, we all spend it. But in the end, we still say we don't have anything left. So why not keep a check since the beginning? Now, there's an icebreaker today that's going to last for 4 to 6 minutes, and level 3 speech that's going to help for 5 to 7 minutes. Now, coming to the table topics, it's going to be 1 minute is the minimum time, and the maximum time is 2 minutes. And after that, 30 seconds of grace period will be offered to both prepared speeches as well as the table topics, as well as in the evaluation section. Now, I'll be showing these screens as this. I'll be showing a green color card at the minimum time, and a yellow color card at the mid time, and a red color card at the maximum time. So that will be my report. Over to you, Toastmaster Shruti.
Thank you so much. And he himself ensured that he does not take more than 60 seconds. Please notice that. And moving ahead, the next person that I'm going to call upon stage is the R counter. Those are not the ones that you feel happy about, or those are not the ones that you feel very proud about, but those are the ones that affect your thought process. And I will not take much time here. I would like to call upon the person who is another person responsible for making beautiful posters, because today our VP Education decided to have the creative heads as the tag role players. So now we have Toastmaster, as our counter, we have Toastmaster Trisha Khaitan. Khaitan. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The essence of a speech or table topic is fluency. Sometimes our fluency gets disrupted by flavorless additives such as but, so, and the list is endless. When you use all these words too often in your speech, it becomes distracting. The purpose of an R counter is to note these crutches or pause fillers. During the meeting, I will listen to the overused words and phrases and will present my report at the end when called upon to do so. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And please notice that the role players are very much adept with what they are doing, because none of them are going beyond their fit boxes, what they're supposed to do. She did not use any of the R's and ums and R's. Very well done. Thank you. Moving ahead to the third person, another creative head of the public relations team of Elite Toastmasters Club is Toastmaster Tanushi Mundra, who is the grammarian of the day, is going to make sure that you become the Lord Clive of Toastmasters fraternity.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. People often say that grammar is not very important. You should just be able to express yourself. Hear me out. All of you, stand in a straight circle. I have two daughters. Both are girls. I talk, he talk. Why you talk in the middle? Made sense to any of you? Blabbering and making sense are two different things. My role as a grammarian today is to note down all the good and not so good usages of grammar throughout the session. The word of the day is contemplation, meaning studying or observing something carefully. For example, he goes to the forest to spend time in contemplation of the nature. I will be contemplating all the speeches and give my report when called upon to do so. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. Can we have a huge round of applause after unmuting yourself for these three soldiers of my team who are going to evaluate you all. Thank you so much. And with not much delay, I would like to hand off the virtual podium to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ishika. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shruti, for that wonderful explanation and for letting us know how we will be able to learn at the end of today's meeting. Well, now I would like to know from you all what you think new beginnings symbolize. Would anyone want to unmute themselves, come forward and speak, or would you want me to be that teacher who points you out in the middle of the class and say that come here and solve this answer? So the choice is yours. Would anyone want to say what new beginnings symbolize to them? I'm assuming you would want me to be that teacher because you miss them and you are in your college right now and teachers don't care about students in their college. So I'd like to ask guest Shrishti what she thinks new beginnings mean.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for asking this question, ma'am. The new beginnings, according to me, I guess new beginnings are the challenges. Like if you start something new, it's a kind of challenge which you accept for yourself. So for me, new beginning is a challenge.
So beautifully said. New beginning is a challenge. And isn't it? Every single day, we do not know what is going to happen, but we go about. I'm speaking right now and I'm thinking, what if I mess up the next sentence? What if I fumble like I did right now? What if I forget what I have to speak? But I'm speaking nonetheless. I'm not keeping quiet. I'm taking on this challenge, and I'm sure I'll come out stronger as a speaker after I end this. Well, for me, new beginnings also symbolize a clean slate where we can write a new story without even thinking about the stories that were written in the previous slate. But obviously, after learning from the mistakes we did while we wrote those stories. And that's exactly what the prepared speakers are going to do today. Before introducing you to the wonderful speakers we have, I'd like to call the first evaluator to read out the speech objective. When I asked him what he thought, which new beginning was he most excited about, he said that he was most excited about the time when he joined his new organization. And for him, new beginnings symbolize starting of an adventure full of challenges, rewards, growth opportunities, and experience. Help me welcome Toastmaster Santanu Datta to read out the speech objective for the first speaker today.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. The speaker is giving its icebreaker speech. The purpose of this speech is to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of the public speaking. Timer, please note, the time limit of this speech is 4 to 6 minutes. I wish the speaker all the very best. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Santanu. When I asked the first speaker, which new beginning was he most excited about, he told me he was excited about his entrepreneurship stint, doing his masters, and so many other things. He's a very excited person in general. He felt that new beginnings for him symbolized a journey to new experiences, be it good or bad. The speaker today, like Toastmaster Santanu said, is starting his journey with his icebreaker speech. And I request you all, after he completes his speech, give him a thunderous round of applause to motivate him to keep coming back on this stage. Mentored by distinguished Toastmaster Kaushik Bhattacharya, starting his path presentation mastery. Help me welcome Toastmaster Umnesh Mitra with his speech title, The Three Acquaintances. The Three Acquaintances, Toastmaster Umnesh Mitra. Sir, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ishika. So does my time start now? Okay, cool. I've always seen icebreaker as that particular dreaded question that you get asked in the interviews. Tell me something about yourself which is not in the CV. And we human beings are very complex creatures, right? That goes without saying. But whenever we face such a question, we either talk about where we belong to, our degrees, and also put some of our hobbies in the mix, and at times it gets a bit boring. So I decided not to take you through my CV till now. Instead, talk about a story. And the story is about three acquaintances. And it starts with, let's say, his name is Tom. Now, Tom is an introverted person. He has been always so throughout his childhood. He rarely made any friends, and also took him years to start playing with the other kids in the school. And along with being an introverted person, he was also raised by a single mother. So he did not have many friends. He did not have many people to speak to at his home. So gave him a lot of time. And he used this time to think, considered himself somewhat of a thinker. And he would ask these really difficult questions like, if God is all powerful, then why does he allow famines to happen, children to die, people to suffer? And answering this to a 10-year-old kid is going to be a challenge for any adult, to say the least. So this is Tom. Uh, Time went on. Tom went to high school, and he got acquainted with Dick. Now, Dick is true to his name. He's arrogant. He has a superiority complex, and he will get into fights and arguments with anyone who does not see his viewpoint. Now, obviously, Tom and Dick had their differences. Uh, Case in point, they both were friends with a couple. And the girl in that relationship was unfaithful to the guy, moved on, things happened. These things happen. But Dick, arrogant that he is, declared that no good human being will ever do such a thing. Now, introvert Tom's viewpoint, we should not get into this. They both are adults, they can handle themselves. So this was a catch-22 situation between them what to do. And thanks to Tom, Dick did not get into a fiasco with the girl, but somehow did send a 5-page email to her stating how disappointed he is in his friend for not being a decent human being. So yeah, that's it. Now, still, Tom and Dick were better together than they were separate. Tom had his own thoughts and viewpoints. Dick was forward in nature, and together they were somewhat quirky and also made friends. Now they went along with their lives and had their own struggles, like we all do. And they got acquainted with Harry. No surprise there. Now, Harry was somewhat different than Tom and Dick. He was the more balanced one. Uh, Tom had his thoughts. Dick took a strong viewpoint and defended it. Harry was somewhere in the middle. For him, not everything in life was black and white. Uh, More often than not, it was in the gray region for most of the things. For example, going back to the same case in point, Harry told this about that particular girl. You were not in her shoes. She might have had very valid reasons to do what she did. And probably it was Dick's own personal biases because of which he sent that 5-page letter. Anyhow, that made sense. Very wise, very nice of Harry. And so the trio became friends with that girl again. That worked out well. And they even went to the marriages of both the boy and the girl, obviously to different people now. And so at this point, you must be wondering that why I'm talking about Tom, Dick, and Harry in my icebreaker, right? So Tom, Dick, and Harry is me. No, I'm not schizophrenic. I have been an introverted person throughout my life. And when I went to high school, I realized that I am better at certain things than other people, which kind of made me arrogant. It was also somewhat of a coping mechanism for me. Now, after that, I went through my struggles in my life, like we all do, and understood that I need to be more cognizant about my own biases. And that's how I have been going through my life till now. The point that I'm trying to make is that we all have different sides of life, different sides of ourselves, which surfaces at different times. I have talked about 3 different sides of me. God knows there are many more. I'm not going into that rabbit hole. But one liner of my speech would be that it's very interesting to contemplate about the different sides of ourselves and think about how we are evolving as a person. That might help us to become that best version of ourselves that we all aim to be. And that has been my icebreaker. Thanks for listening. Over to you, Team Ishika. Toastmaster
Can we?
Ishika.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Unmesh. And can everyone please unmute themselves and give a huge round of applause for Tom, Dick, and Harry? I mean, Toastmaster Unmesh for giving his icebreaker speech. A beautiful speech it was. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Unmesh, for sharing that with us. Well,
Thank you.
moving, it was amazing. I mean, isn't it a story of every single person out here? We do not know who we are, and in this journey of life, we just keep on trying to discover the different faces that we have. Moving on to the next speaker, before calling him, I like to call his evaluator. When I asked her which new beginning she was most excited about, she told me it was starting her journey as a Toastmaster, in which she has beautifully evolved, and then also working as a soft skill trainer from the next week on. So, a huge congratulations to her for this. For her, new beginning symbolizes a way to explore new avenues of life and exploring yourself. Without further ado, help me welcome Toastmaster Dalia Thakkar to read out the speech objectives.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ishika. Am I audible? Okay. Thank you so much. And a very good evening to fellow Toastmasters and future Toastmasters. The speaker here today is going to give his level 3 speech, which has the objective to develop and practice personal strategy of building connections through networking and to share a few experiences that he had during this networking process. The project is develop a networking site, and the timing for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best to the speaker and back to the Toastmaster today.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dalia. Moving on to the speaker, he is also going towards a new beginning today. He is starting his level 3 journey. When I asked him which new beginning has he been the most excited about, he told me that in the lockdown phase, he started helping out his father in his family business, and it was very exciting for him. New beginnings for him symbolized new obstacles. New obstacles, in turn, symbolized new ways to overcome them. And with this, we become experienced. Spoke like the true Sahil that I know. Help me welcome Toastmaster Sahil, mentored by Toastmaster Ankita Goenka, starting his level 3 of his path strategic relationship with the speech title Linked In. Linked In, Toastmaster Sahil Sangai.
Am I audible? Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what we are doing or learning to do. A quote that turned into a lively picture in my life. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished friends. We all know how tough it is to reach a milestone. You keep climbing step by step, patiently until you finally realize that you have achieved something out of your hard work. And luckily, it happened with me. I remember that day being interviewed by distinguished Toastmaster Kaushik Bhattacharya, today's District 41 Public Relations Manager. And fortunately, I got elected to the team of District 41 Public Relations. All those healthy and eye-catching PR for several events that I got to do in my past was somewhat paying off. And just like that, my journey as District 41 Creative Excellence Manager started. Indeed, the starting phase was pretty tough, challenging, but yet very interesting. I was able to learn and grow by taking up bigger PR projects. And therein, I got familiar to unique and professional looking infographic brochures and banners. Those elements to my PR armory were a game changer indeed. Let me tell you how. We all do remember those rough patches we all went through during the lockdown phase. I, despite being in Nepal, can guarantee you that the pandemic situation here were as similar to that of India, wherein the economy was just not moving ahead. There, I wondered, why not apply the skill sets of PR to our family business? I had a talk with my elder brother and my dad. They both were okay with this new concept that I had. Hence, I brought forward our business of hardware and door fittings to Facebook in form of a business page named Hardware Hub. Our idea was pretty simple: to promote our dealership brand called Yark and other co-brands that we offered in bulk. We made a name of getting clients from remote and construction zones as well. Hence, I created those infographic brochures of our brand Yark. It was formally passed on by the branding department of Yark India. Therefore, we were able to do organic promotion and create a great visibility of our page. But indeed, it took us months to reach from zero visibility per post to 2000 visibility reach rather per post. And gradually, we started getting queries. And all I had to do was to handle those queries professionally and convert them to clients. But one fine day, ladies and gentlemen, we got what we were actually aiming for: a big project. Mega Housing Company Private Limited, a real estate company having clients involved in construction business, reached us. They were looking to get door fitting items of Yark in bulk. They formally asked us to send them our brochure along with company certified price list. And soon we got connected with them over a call. It took them months to reach out to us, but once when they did it, they formally called us to their office at Biratnagar, miles away from Kathmandu, for a formal meeting. And I, along with my elder brother, had no idea what was coming ahead of us. My elder brother, who managed everything from dealing to supplying Yark materials, did not shy away in asking me to accompany him to this trip. No doubt, it was my first ever business trip. We went there, did the meeting with our client, and got to know about their real estate project. And guess what? We received our first order with them. My brother did all the formalities of paperwork, and we came back to Kathmandu with a different experience altogether. Today, we are yet to dispatch their very first order, which indeed is in bulk, but the new network that I was able to create for our business remains one of the most memorable moments of my life. You see, my friends, Toastmasters has not only given me the opportunity to PR, but also the patience to wait for the bigger picture. We did face a lot of challenges, a lot of technicalities while promoting our own page. But the experience and the exposure that I already had while doing PR for our very own club and also the district was duly coming into play. Isn't this the beauty of Toastmasters? To me, it gave me the expertise to dive into social media marketing, exposure to invest my skill sets in it, and the ability to network with people professionally. So, my friends, especially to all those who have newly joined this fraternity, are you looking to get a similar taste of what I had? If yes, be ready to link with people in this fraternity. Be ready to invest your valuable time here. And in turn, be ready to get some astounding networks for your future. Don't you agree, Master of Ceremonies?
I definitely agree, Toastmaster Sahil, and what a marvelous speech it was. So inspiring, so motivating, and it opened so many doors for so many people who were not really aware about the power the Toastmaster networking has. If you have any other doubt, please feel free to contact Sahil, who is a master, a wizard in PR activities, and is also the creative head of District 41. Well, moving on to the next segment of today's meeting. But before starting it, I'd like to ask someone else this time what they think new beginnings symbolize. So, is there anyone who would like to come forward and say it by themselves? Or should I pinpoint out someone and ask myself? I guess it's pinpointing again. I'm not going to answer next time. I'll just pinpoint the next time too. Can I ask guest Kanishka to tell me what he thinks new beginnings symbolize?
Am I audible? Okay, I'm audible. Hi. For me, new beginnings is about second chances, because when we're talking about new beginnings, you're not talking about beginnings. You're not talking about something starting right from the start. Rather, you're talking about an opportunity to make something better. If something went wrong, then you have a fresh slate wherein you can actually incorporate some changes, make things better. And that is what new beginnings are for me. A chance to reinvent certain things, a chance to make situations better, a chance to make yourself better.
So beautifully said, guest Kanishka. New beginnings are second chances. Who says that your new beginning should be a beginning of something entirely new? It can be something which you have already done, but now you are a new self and you're approaching it with a new mindset, isn't it? So thank you so much for that wonderful thought, guest Kanishka. Like everyone here said, new beginnings for me, and like guest Kanishka said, new beginnings also means starting something that you're scared of. We all are afraid of the unknown, right? And we do not know what is going to happen the next moment. I'll give you a very recent example. I got my hair colored today, okay? I was so scared when I went to do it. All the girls out here, they'll understand how much we love our hair, and I was not sure how the outcome will be. So, scaringly, I was sitting in the chair and I was like, let's just see whatever happens. I'm just going to go with it. And it turned out to be good. I'm loving it. I'm more confident about myself and my choices right now. Well, I'll tell you, it was a totally impromptu decision to be really honest. I was in the area and I was like, आज कुछ तूफानी करते हैं. Let's do something risky today. And I went to the salon. I said, color my hair to the color that you want to. And it was good. The outcome was good. So impromptu decisions can have beautiful outcomes like my hair turned out to be. Why don't you try impromptu decisions today? I'm sure the table topic master and all of us would love to hear your views on the topic he presents to you. To introduce the table topic master for today's segment, I've asked him what he thinks, which new beginning he was the most excited about. And he had an answer I think all the third years will have on their lips when we asked him. He said that he was very excited about the college life that he was going to start, the new friends, the new atmosphere, the new beginning of a little hardship, learning, and a lot of new friendships. The college life, which totally changed his life around. For him, new beginnings refer to a new start, forgetting the old issues that you have and focusing more on the present. Just forget about the past and start with a clean slate. Isn't that beautiful? Help me welcome Toastmaster Jitesh Thakkar as the table topic master, who will share more beautiful thoughts and more beautiful topics with us today. Toastmaster Jitesh, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster today, for that great introduction. So, table topic session. According to me, this table topic session is considered to be the most fun, exhilarating, and the most unique session of the Toastmasters in a whole. You get a chance to speak in order to explore yourself of what you basically are. You get to understand and you get to pass across the fear that you're facing. A new beginning after the speaking of this particular title. So moving on, there are certain rules that need to be followed in this. So first of all, I like to mention the timings for the table topic session. Well, as a table topic master, I'll keep you or give you a topic to a guest or a Toastmaster, whoever it is, and then you have to speak on that for impromptu 1 to 2 minutes straight. So there is a time span, like if you speak before 1 minute, you won't be able to qualify for the voting. And there's also a 30 seconds grace time on the right side, that is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, I also have an option for the guest, privilege for the guest that they can change the topic once. So without wasting any much time, let's move on to our first contender for the table topic session. So let me pick up someone. Toastmaster Dalia, are you there?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so you're audible after all. So your topic for today is Toastmaster Dalia. Would you prefer a live-in relationship or a marriage? Toastmaster Dalia, would you prefer a live-in relationship or a marriage?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and future Toastmasters. A question that most of us ask ourselves during our late 20s, which I have not arrived yet, is do we go for a live-in or just get married to the person? Well, for me right now, it's going to be neither. I am happy with myself and content the way I am. For me right now, I do not need the support of any man or any person in my life except for my family. Currently, I am focused in my career and that is it for me. But for the later part of my life, I think relations are something that we need to maintain. Maybe with friends or somebody special, it's going to affect your life in a good manner or a bad. And that is up to us. That is up to us and only ourselves. We choose the people who we are going to be with in the later part of our life. And that affects us majorly. So it is definitely a question that I should be asking myself almost 8 years down the line or 10 years down the line, which one would I choose? But table topic master for now, I am going to just stay single and say myself that I do not need to think about this particular situation because I am happy and I'm single. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you so much for that wonderful table topic session from your side. Well, there may be certain secrets to your ending, but I would not like to disclose certain things. This is not from my side. Moving on to our next topic, I'd like to call a guest, but I see someone who has pinpointed and wants to speak. Pratyush Gupta, are you a guest or a Toastmaster?
Yes, I am a Toastmaster. You can say new Toastmaster.
Okay. Toastmaster Pratyush Gupta, your topic is life is like a pendulum. Toastmaster Pratyush Gupta, life is like a pendulum. Life is like a pendulum, Toastmaster Pratyush Gupta.
The topic is itself very approaching, and I will have to take the pendulum approach on the topic because I slightly agree with the statement and I slightly disagree with the statement because I have seen people moving on a path to get their achievement. But again, I have seen some people who move on a certain path and then they move back, just like the pendulum of the clock. So life for most of the people are like pendulum, but for those who are focused on a line and the life and on the line they are following, the pendulum approach does not exist for them. And that is a very good thing because if you will keep on working on a single path, you will get the achievement at one point of your life. And if you will move like a pendulum, that is, if you will keep moving here and there, then your opportunities and your achievements will also be here and there. You will see many opportunities in your life, but I have a doubt that how much achievement will be done to those opportunities, because I have understood in my life that if you have a single opportunity or a single goal and you do not look here and there while you are focusing on one direction only, then you can be a successful person, a successful businessman, even a successful Toastmaster. So I will like to conclude by saying that life is a pendulum for most of the people, nearly 90% people. For those who the remaining those 10% people for whom the life is not like a pendulum, they can become the winners in their life. And thank you, Table Dog Master.
That was really a perfect approach to the speech. I would like to confirm the same. I hope I am included in that 10% though. But let's see. Moving on to our next speaker, I'd like to call a guest. Guest Kanishka, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So would you like to take a topic?
Sure.
Okay, so your topic for today is, what if you woke up as Voldemort for one day? Guest Kanishka, what if you woke up as a Voldemort for one day?
If I woke up as Voldemort for one day, I'd probably not be so stupid as to trust people that easily. I believe a reason why Voldemort failed is because he had too much faith in his minions and his army in general. I believe that if he had been a little more sneakier about the way in which he attacked, it would have been much better for him. So if I was Voldemort for one day, I would probably do the first thing of trying to figure out who are the rats in my army, and then try to figure out how I can get them out. I'd also like to manipulate them into actually helping me, because something I believe where Voldemort really lost out is being able to utilize his resources properly so as to ensure that he's able to achieve his objective of getting Harry out of the picture. And I think he could have done that much better had he been more strategic in his approach. I believe I'm very interested in the art of war and military strategy in general. And the best way of having a war is to decide the correct timing for it. You cannot avoid a war. You cannot delay a war. You always need to ensure that the war takes place whenever you want it. I believe that the primary reason why Voldemort lost is because he allowed his opponents to have the upper hand in that regard. And if he was actually able to control when exactly he's going to confront his opponents, then he'd have very easily won against a small kid. So if I was that Voldemort for one day, I would like to immediately try and wipe Harry out of the picture. That would be it from my end. Thank you.
What a wonderful speech from your side. I'd like everyone to unmute themselves and have a round of applause for our guest Kanishka. And I also get an impression of you that if you would have been a Voldemort, then Harry wouldn't be alive for the last for sure, right? Yeah. So moving on to our next guest, I'd like to call guest Shakuntala. Yes, Shakuntala, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So your topic for today is, if opportunity doesn't knock the door, build one. Yes, Shakuntala, if opportunity doesn't knock the door, build one. Over to you.
Because it is only some people always think someone come and help them. So if you are really look at the life, if you have to be very positive, there is always a time. Now let's take the pandemic. When we are Toastmasters, we don't have to go out and think, but we found to change from the normal in-person meeting to virtual meeting. Isn't that a one great example? Because when one door is closed, we find that we built one. Because that is the way we have to approach life. Otherwise, what happens if you don't look for that? If you don't have the ability to build another door, that means we are a failure. Then we don't take our life, our responsibility and live. Because it is the best thing to do, because life is happening once. So always we have to look for opportunities, and there is hundreds and thousands of opportunities around us. If we are really keen and we are looking forward to go, then definitely we have to build one. Even if you are a lazy person, if you find you can't build a door, at least try to build a window, so that you can just go out and achieve your goals and everything. Because there is, for every human, there is always opportunity to do more and more. It is only some people never see that. So seeing it is one way to achieve it. Over to you, take it up.
I loved your approach. That was really a wonderful speech, guest Shakuntala. I would like everyone to unmute themselves once again and clap for our guest Shakuntala, please. So I loved your approach that if you have your eyes to see, then you can open a door by just your eyes. That's totally wonderful. Moving on, I'd like to call another guest. I can see guest Amit Kumar. Would you like to speak?
Sure.
Okay,
I'll
guest
try.
Amit. Yeah, sure. Guest Amit Kumar, your topic is ego equals to destruction. Ego equals to destruction, guest Amit Kumar. Over to you.
Yeah, I think this is quite a right statement. By mean, ego is what when we say we are the best and the rest of are not the best. This is the very thin line between ego and the self-confidence. In the self-confidence, you are saying, yes, I'm in one of the people who are best. So if we are going in the path of ego and we are saying we are the only best, rest of the people are useless, you don't know about the strength of other people because you don't know them. You have not I'm saying you have not broken those boundaries of your ego. You have not understood other people. They might have other strength also. So we need to break this wall of ego, and we need to realize that everyone has his own strength. Everyone has his own what I'm saying, the weakness. But that's the ego boundary we need to break down, and then we can, I'm saying, get the best of everyone and get that self confidence. I think yeah, that's it.
That was really a wonderful speech, and I would again like everyone to unmute themselves and please applaud for a new speaker. This is really wonderful. I love your approach about ego and the way it leads to destruction. It is just awesome. Before continuing, I would like to ask you guys that are you enjoying the session or not? Yes or no? Please unmute yourselves and say yes at least. Okay, then why have you all put your cameras off? I would request everyone to please turn on your cameras. If you are enjoying the session, if you don't, I'll feel that you are not. So please turn on your cameras, please. Guys, I request everyone to turn on your cameras. I can see a lot of cameras still off. So please turn on your cameras. Okay, I can see a lot of cameras on now. So moving on, I'd like to call Toastmaster Naushad Alam for our next table topic speaker. Are you there, Toastmaster Naushad? Okay.
Yes.
So your topic for today is, what is your biggest fear? Toastmaster Naushad, what is your biggest fear? Toastmaster Naushad.
What is your biggest?
What is your biggest fear? Fear.
Fear.
F-E-A-R. Yeah.
Okay. That is my biggest fear. Public speaking. Actually, when I speak in front of people, I always feel fear. I joined 1.5 year Toastmaster, but still my heart is pouring and I feel hesitation when I speak in front of these people. So this is my biggest fear. But I am trying to speak in front of you, and it is the achievement I can feel. And one day, definitely, that hesitation will be break down, and I will speak more confidently. And it's not a big deal if you decided that to do anything. So it's not a big deal. You can do anything. Any circumstances, you talk about new beginnings. When you broke, when you failure, when you decided to do anything, and your first action is your new beginning. So that's it from my side. Thank you. Over to you, Jitesh.
Thank you so much, Naushad. Well, public speaking is my fear too, I would say that. And I guess this club has improved me a lot from what I was before. And I would also ensure that you will be improved as well. Just come up on the stage regularly and you will see yourself and that fear go on in just a second of times. Next, I'd like to call our guest, another guest, Srishti Raj. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so would you like to take up the topic?
Okay.
Just a second. So, guest Srishti, your topic is everything happens for a reason. Yes, Srishti, everything happens for a reason.
Okay. So first of all, I'll share a story of it's a very personal story of mine, and starting something in story is really good, I think. So I was an engineering student, and at the same time, I wanted to pursue fine arts, and I was a science student. So it's typically said that if you're a science student, you have to take engineering. And but my passion was always in fine arts. But I don't know what circumstances came. I just took engineering. I ended up into an engineering college, and then after that, I spent a whole year there. And this pandemic changed my life. I was alone in the pandemic. For all of you who, I mean, sorry, I was alone there in Dehradun in my engineering college. I was alone there, and then I realized that this engineering is not made for me, because engineering is something which I don't want to do. I want to pursue fine arts. So this took me to the decision that I have to pursue fine arts, and I just quitted the engineering. And I feel the topic which you have given me, everything happens for a reason. For me, COVID was this reason that I just quitted engineering and I took my passion, and I'm just pursuing fine arts right now.
I'd like everyone to unmute themselves and have a round of applause for our guest speaker, please.
Thanks.
So we wish you all the best for your new journey ahead as fine arts. And yes, I was someone who also intended to do engineering at a certain point of time, but then I thought I was wrong, and then I pursued commerce. Happens with everyone. Happened with me as well.
Yeah,
So
that's why it said everything happens for a reason. So yeah.
So I'd like to ask our VP if you have time for another topic.
Unfortunately, we don't. We need to start off with evaluation segment.
Okay, sure. So I'd like to end up a wrap up. To the ones who did not get a chance to speak, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but still hope that I'll become a table topic master quite soon. So I'll give you a chance. I'll take care of the persons who have not got the chance today, so you won't regret it. Therefore, ending, I hope everyone liked the session. And that is all from my side. Thank you so much, and over to you, Toastmaster already.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jitesh. And can we have a huge round of applause for that fun-filled topic section that he conducted? Well, did any of you go through the revelation I was talking about in the table topic section? That one feeling, and you realize that your life is never going to be the same. You have this new way of looking at things. I'm sure a lot of listeners might have gone through that too. I'd like to ask someone else now who or what they think new beginnings symbolize. And I'll choose, because I learned from my past mistakes, that no one is going to come forward and give their name. So let me choose the new Toastmaster Jigisha Khemka, to share her views on the new beginnings and what she thinks they symbolize. Toastmaster Jigisha?
Yeah. Hello, Ishita, Toastmaster Ishita, and everyone else. New beginnings. For me, new beginning means every day is perhaps a new beginning. We should think about every day as that. How much bad the past few days or the past few months would have been, but you have to gather all your courage and strength to fight back. And with every sunrise, it's a new beginning. So that's for me. It's a challenge as well as an hidden opportunity to rebuild yourself.
Toastmaster Jagisha, you took words out of directly my mouth, because that's what I was going to say. That every new day is a new beginning. Perfectly what I was thinking, totally in sync. Every new day is a chance to start afresh. I'm not sure how many people here feel that way, but when I wake up from a good night's sleep, I feel that I have the power to conquer the entire world. All the difficulties of yesterday, they all seem small and manageable. A new me is born. And I'm sure the day that I wake up, I mean, like today, is not going to be easy. But I'm better prepared because I learned from the mistakes of my past and improve myself from the next ones that I will make, but will learn again from them. I think that is exactly what a general evaluation segment is about. It's that good night's sleep which helps you realize about your mistakes, contemplate, and come out as better armed to fight the war for the next day. Help me welcome the general for this war, the general evaluator who will help us armor up and become better soldiers. Toastmaster Shruti Srivastava, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much for conducting an interactive, thought provoking, and an illustrative session, Toastmaster Ishika. Can we have a huge round of applause for she made us do two things? One is introspection, where we were thinking about various new beginnings at various points in time of our own lives. And second, interact with each other because she was interacting on our behalf. So what? But it was a very beautifully conducted session, and I'm glad to be a part of the team tonight. And moving ahead, as I told you all in the beginning, that I will be evaluating the entire session, and I would not take much time and would like to kick off the session. First, I would like to call upon stage the evaluators of the prepared speech section, which was the first section of the meeting. Can I have the evaluator of the first speech on stage, who is Toastmaster Shantanu Datta?
Thank you, General Evaluator. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. And how do you do it? By breaking the ice. And that's what Toastmaster Umesh did. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, let me start with three things that I love throughout the speech. Firstly, what an amazing opening. I was connected from the first, and I can relate to that. Tell me something about yourself. Secondly, he was very, very confident, and it showed throughout the entire speech. Kudos to you for that, Umesh. And finally, what I liked most, the unique approach he took to introduce himself by the Tom Dick Harry story, and then later transcend himself, how the connection to himself. It was simply mind blowing. Now, to help Toastmaster Unmesh get through future barriers, I have a few recommendations. Firstly, the camera angle. It was amazing speech, and I would have felt more connected if the camera was at the eye level. Also, it would have been great if you could use more hand gestures in a speech like this. The hand gestures takes it to the next level. And last but not the least, I felt the speech was delivered in a monotonous space. For example, the story was spectacular. There was lots of ups and downs, and it would have been perfect if you used different pace in different parts of those of the story. To summarize, it was a wonderful speech. You had an amazing opening, great confidence, and a unique storyline and an amazing transition. If you could work on camera angle, hand gestures, and pace, the speech would have been even better. I personally look forward to hearing more speeches from you. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shantanu, and you have given an evaluation which Toastmaster Unmesh would look forward to hearing from you again and again and again, would hit the stage again and again. I have few recommendations because I have to do my job and get apprised in the journey of Toastmasters. And I have first recommendation for Toastmaster Shantanu, who is the evaluator of the ice-breaking speech speaker, is that you have followed the CRC approach, but you have to summarize the speech at a high so that the person who is on stage looks forward and strives to come back on stage and deliver a speech. just the only suggestion that you have to give positive adjectives when you are summarizing your evaluation. Rest of it was very well noticed evaluation. Thank you so much. Next, I have feedback evaluation for Toastmaster Unmesh. Your speech was brilliant. Your story was thought provoking and, of course, looking forward to. And your characters in the story were amazing, as you said. But I have small feedback on your setup of your screen is that we all carry some light inside. But when that light, I know, understand this is a weekend and a Saturday, our lights are slightly on the lower side of the voltage. So we need to have something like which flashes some light on our faces so that our expressions are clearly seen. And let me tell you that speaking is not just about your content, it is also about your non-verbal language, which means the expression of your face, your eyes, your hand gestures, and everything around you. So next time when you deliver a speech, make sure you are in a well-lit area so that your face is properly visible to us. But nevertheless, as an icebreaker speaker, I would definitely look forward to your next speeches because I loved it totally. Can we have a huge round of applause for the icebreaker? And record breaker too, I assume. Can we have the next evaluator of the speaker, who was the second speaker? Can we have Toastmaster Dalia on stage?
Yes, Toastmaster Shruti, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. A very warm good evening to fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, and my target speaker, Toastmaster Sahil. You started your journey, and a journey of 1,000 miles begin with a single step, and you were courageous enough to take that one step to change your passion towards PR into something that will be valuable not only for you, but your family and your business as well. So kudos to you for taking that first step in a pandemic situation, which is even better. Now, talking about your speech, the first thing that I loved about your speech was the structure. You had an amazing, catchy, uncanny beginning and an introduction. You had a lucidly knit event body and a motivational ending. So there was a perfect logical flow of the entire sequence of introduction, body, and conclusion. The second thing that I loved about this speech was your hand gesture. When you said to reach that milestone, to move step by step, you were showing us what you did and what you wanted to portray right in front of us. And the third thing was the objectives of the speech was met perfectly. You did, in fact, introduce the story, your personal strategy into the real life, into the networking that you did. So kudos to you for fulfilling the objectives in such a beautiful manner. Now let's ask ourselves a question. If we are taking a few steps or have taken one step towards a beautiful long journey, let's take a few steps forward in the journey of speaking as well to make it even better. What is that? First, what I thought, voice modulation. The voice modulation at times was a little bland. When you were expressing that it took a long time to get your first client, the hesitation wasn't there. The second thing, when your face was right there, it was showing happiness when you were saying that we got a first order. It was right there on your face, but it was not on the voice. You could have said, we got a first order, and that could have brought the excitement through the screen to the people who are listening. The second recommendation would be the camera positioning. Even though you had a lot of hand gestures, most of these hand gestures were restricted till this end because you were having most of the expressions below this. So make sure till next time you have your camera position so all your hand gestures are perfectly seen and clearly to the audience. The third thing that I thought was the drama. The escalation of the drama throughout the speech could have been way better. You had amazing ups and downs in your speech when you said that you wanted to do something, you wanted to change your PR into something of a business. You talked to your father. It wasn't happening for a while, but it finally did happen. Just adding a few dialogues in your speech would have intensified the drama and brought it in a better and a more lively way. In the end, I'd just like to say you had a wonderfully well-scripted speech. You had amazing hand gestures, just with a little bit of camera positioning, voice modulation. You are going to go miles and miles ahead. Back to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Shruti.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dalia, for not missing out on anything and making my job easier as always. And I have one feedback for you. That one feedback is just the camera positioning. That's it, so that we can see your face and your hand gestures clearly. That is it. And this is my constant feedback in all my general evaluation or evaluation sessions, that when you're on a virtual podium, I know it's very hard to look into nothing. That is your small dot of the camera, of your phone or of your screen, but we have to do it. Welcome to the pandemic. Hello, COVID. We are here. I have small feedback for Toastmaster Sahil, who delivered his speech, is that when you are here, you could have used some props, because it was something that you were talking about, the networking and connections, and you had a legit speech based on some physical stuff that was not not intangible, or you were not selling some dreams or something like that. You were selling doorknobs and stuff, and you own it, so you could have had some physical props that would have helped us visualize that part in a much better way. These are some brownie points which will fetch your audiences to be your fans. We are already, but just that extra edge. Moving ahead to the next section was the table topic section. And but before that, I think I should call upon stage the tag role players, or how is it that we do here in this club?
Ma'am, you can call either the tag role players, or you can call the tag role players and then you can give your evaluation.
All right. All right. So I would now call upon stage my brigade of my soldiers who are going to evaluate you all. I would now like to call upon stage the first role player, who was the timer of the day. Can we have timer on stage, please? Toastmaster Ayush.
Thank you, Shruti. Now, as we are already a bit late on the time, I'll not take much time. I'll just tell you the timings of not all the speakers, but as in all the speakers were qualified and there was no disqualification. And if anyone wants the report, they can tag me personally and I will get them. Over to you, Toastmaster Shruti.
Thank you so much. That was quick and lovely. And can I have the next role player, who is the R counter, Toastmaster Trisha, on stage?
Thank you, ma'am. Here is my R counter report for today's meeting. Toastmaster Unmesh used the crutch word and multiple times. Toastmaster Sahil was flawless. Toastmaster Dalia was flawless. Toastmaster Pratyush used multiple times and the crutch word so 2 times. Guest Kanishka used the crutch word 3 times. Guest Shakuntala used the crutch word 2 times. Guest Amit used the crutch word multiple times and also used the crutch word and 3 times. Toastmaster Amlan used the crutch word and multiple times. Guest Srishti used the crutch word so 3 times and the crutch word and multiple times. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Trisha, for giving this crisp report. Next, can we have the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster grammarian of the Toastmaster Tanushi, on stage with her report?
First of all, I would like to apologize for not putting in the word of the day in the chat box. I'm so sorry for that. The word of the day, contemplation, was used one by Unmesh and Ishikawa. The good usages of grammar were fiasco, cognizant, fraternity, uncanny, and taking pendulum approach on the topic. The not so good words were, instead of here and there, to and fro could have been used. You cannot start your speech with the word because. Feel fear could have been replaced with feel scared. Feel hesitation could have been replaced with feel hesitated. And quitted is not a word. It should be used as quit. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tanushri, for giving your crisp report, and we will definitely incorporate your feedback in our speeches. And moving ahead quickly to the table topic section, I would be evaluating each of the table topic speakers. I will be real quick. The first table topic speaker, who was Toastmaster Dalia, who was flawless as always, and talking about such a topic which is not so common, or which is a sensitive topic, is very, very crucial approach that she took, and I loved it. And that is something that she can improve, that she can take forward as takeaway from what she spoke, and that is a takeaway I think for all of us. The second Toastmaster was Toastmaster Pratyush, where he talked about that life is a pendulum. Indeed, it is. And the way he spoke about and the way he incorporated other people in his speech was something where he was cognizant of the fact that the audiences here also, they feel involved. When you're talking about other people in your speeches, other humans who can relate to your story, they are involved with your speech, and that makes a lot of sense when you're speaking on any topic, be it table topic or a prepared speech section. Moving on to the guest, Kanishka, who who spoke on, I'm forgetting the topic actually, Kanishka, because that was something about Harry Potter, and I do not like, or I'm very much disinterested in that topic. But as far as I know about it, it was illustrative, it was consistent with no fumbling, and the end was very, very summarizing in a way that it never looked like a table topic speech, but it was more of a prepared speech. Kudos to you. I hope to see you embark your journey as a Toastmaster very soon. Moving ahead, there was guest Shakuntala, but I do not see her here on my screen, I think. No, she's here. She spoke about if opportunity does not knock on the door, build the door. And indeed, we all do that some point in time. And the way she approached the entire topic and she summarized the topic was brilliant, because it was more on the motivational front. And that gives us the gist of what the speaker can weave in thoughts in 2 minutes, in 2 minutes of time, when they are weaving it on the go, thinking on the feet. And that is a brilliant approach that you can take for table topics. Moving ahead to guest Amit, who spoke about ego equals destruction. Do we have guest Amit here on in the meeting? All right,
Yes,
he's here.
I'm here.
Amazing. So you talk about ego equals destruction, and you began your speech with, yes, this is pretty much the right approach, and it is actually. What I could sense was there was a slight misplacement, derailment in your speech when you were talking about ego equals destruction. You went into self-confidence and building qualities, whereas the topic was talking about the ego equals destruction. You could have easily talked about how ego can hamper your self-confidence, whereas you were talking about building your self-confidence. The approach somewhere in the middle of ego equals self-destruction and building your self-confidence was missing. You could have stuck with the topic and spoken about the topic itself and summarizing it in a positive way. Moving ahead to guest Naushad, who spoke about what is your biggest fear, and the way he approached the topic was beginning with talking about himself, about his own story. And I think this is the easiest and the best approach that you can start speaking when you're starting your journey as a table topic speaker, because it is difficult, and trust me, it is difficult because I've been there. When you embark your journey as a table topic speaker, you fumble, you have a lot of fear, you're scared, but you do it. So talking about your personal stories, about the people around you, is the easiest way that you can take. And I think guest Naushad was brilliant at it. Moving on to the last table topic speaker, who was guest Srishti Raj. She spoke about that everything happens for a reason, where she again shared her personal story, and which was very, very motivating and inspiring. And we all want to be that fearless that we can follow our passions and follow our dreams. And I have no feedback for you, Srishti. All the best to you. This were the evaluation for the table topic section. Now I would come to evaluate the entire meeting, right from the SA. I appreciate that all of you have very smartly started the meeting on 6:15. People bother when it starts at 6. People bother when it starts at 6:30. You have chosen the middle ground, which is 6:15. No one will say anything. Nicely, you can get away with it. So it started on time. I liked it. And the SA introduced the theme subtly. The president introduced the theme subtly. That shows the coordination as EC officers and people who are working behind the scene is very much visible and glaringly obvious here. Moving to the president, I saw that there was the standing president VP membership, Toastmaster Jitesh, and he has brilliantly done the job of the president, where he did the introduction, subtle introduction of the theme. He took the introduction of the guests, all the guests, and also he announced the major announcements. I have one small feedback, which is the fact that when you have your president announcing these things, you could have called upon your VP Ed for the announcements, so that other ISLI officers also get face time with the members and guests of your club. That will help you get more public relations or more visual PR. This was one feedback. And moving on to the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ishika, you have chosen the theme very, very nicely. You do not want us to let go and be lazy in the weekends, where you were talking about new beginnings, more so because it's Saturday and we'll be beginning our Monday and the new week too. Two commendations that I have for your role as a table topic, as the Toastmaster of the day was: one, choosing the theme and choosing a theme which is very interactive and thought provoking. It is the job of the team mod of the day to keep the grip of the meeting in his or her hands, so that everything is in under control and everyone feels involved with the meeting. Second thing, I appreciate the interactive session that you had. You never had a repetitive interaction with any of the people or any of the Toastmasters or guests, and which is where again everyone feels involved, be it a guest or a Toastmaster. So those were two things that you had nicely put there. I have no feedback for you precisely, because you were brilliant. Moving ahead to the tag role players for the timer card and the grammarian, I have a combined feedback for you, wherein you can place the word of the day on the timer card itself. So it is like priming the minds of the people who are, if at all they're looking at the screens, that they see the word of the day all over again and they tend to use it. We are struggling with the fact that we are in the virtual podium and we do not use word of the day very conveniently. And these are things which will put the word of the day in their faces, and they have to use it if they want to. So that will help. Another feedback was the chat, putting the word of the day in chat, and perhaps keep putting it at every 30 minutes or so, so that people can, again, it pops up and people can use it. For the R counter, report was crisp. The counting was brilliant. You could have counted the number of long pauses and short pauses, because I noticed many, but I did not see them in the report, because that is also something that hinders with your thought process or effective communication style. And moving ahead to the table topic master. Again, do you decide and stay in sync all the time? Because I saw that the table topics were also in sync with the theme somewhat. At least I could sense so, wherein every question was thought provoking, and I'm a big fan of table topics which make you think, which make you think and reflect on your own for those 10-20 seconds, whatever time that you get. And those were brilliant table topics, and I think you can keep coming up with those table topics again. That is it for the day, and I would now hand over the virtual podium to Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, for that wonderful report. I'm sure every one of us has learned something of or the other, if not everything, and will become better speakers and better individuals the next time we come back on stage. Well, every second is a new beginning. We do not know what is going to happen, and it's rather scary, really. But it's exciting too. And I'll ask you to focus more on the excitement and less on the fear. The day is almost coming to an end now. Eight it's almost 8 p.m. So I'd like to say to you, armor up, my friends. You're gonna fight a new battle tomorrow. And I know you have it in you to come out victorious of that battle. So trust yourself, learn every minute, and fight every minute too. In the last days of your life, when you'll be resting and you look back on to these days, you'll see a soldier who conquered his fear and came out victorious of every single battle they fought. With this, I am Toastmaster Ishikawa signing off as today's Toastmaster of the Day. handing back the podium to the dashing standing president, Toastmaster Jitesh Thakkar.
Thank you so much. Well, what a wonderful session it was from the very start to the very end. A conceptual feedback from the general evaluator, a great theme by the Toastmaster of the day, and accelerating and enhancing interactive topics by the table topic master itself. So yes, it was really a fun session. So I'd like to confirm if you guys have voted for the voting link. The voting link has been shared in the chat section. So I request everyone to please vote. Until that, I'll take the feedback from all the guests. So guest Shakuntala, can we have your feedback on how the meeting was?
It was hi. It was a wonderful meeting. Really, I love that. The Toastmaster of the day, just take it in a nice way. Really, I enjoyed that. Table topic, everything was wonderful. I'm really scared to speak in front of people, so it just helped me to practice my speaking. Thank you so much. It was really wonderful. Looking forward to join in your next meeting. Thank you.
That was really a very, very great feedback from the side. We are looking forward to have you as a Toastmaster in our meeting very, very soon. Let's hope next meeting, Aruni. So moving on, guest Kanishka Agarwal, can you have your feedback?
I really enjoyed this session. I had known about the structure for quite some while, but I didn't imagine it would be this interactive and fun. I'd really like to appreciate the role players today, particularly the Toastmaster of the day, because very, very interactive. And I really like how well every session was tied up. Like if you're moving from one topic to the other, then there was a very smooth transition planned for that. And that is something I'd like to learn. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. Thank you very much, everybody, for having me here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to host you for the meeting, and we are soon hoping that you will become a Toastmaster as soon as possible. And then moving on, guest Amit Kumar, can we have your feedback?
Yeah, it was very interactive session, I would say. Like I learned a couple of things in this session, so I'm looking forward to be a part of these meetings frequently. Thank you.
We would love you to have and become a member of the club as soon as possible. And I really appreciate you guys having to stay till the end and appreciating us as the speakers for the day. So moving on, guest Shruti Raj, can we have your feedback?
Yeah, it was really a great session and I really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to be the member of this club. And also it gives, I mean, it was a lot of like learning and fun, both the mixture of fun and learning both. So yeah, I'm looking forward to join the club.
Thank you so much. Really means a lot from all you guys coming that kind of a positive feedback. Toastmasters International provides an environment which is so positive and so encouraging that everyone here comes to feel like they are a part of themselves. They are part of, it's a whole community, a family kind of a feel is what it is here. So I'd also like to ask the feedback from my Toastmaster Jigisha, as it is your first meeting as a Toastmaster, so we'd like to hear your feedback also. Toastmaster Jigisha, are you there?
Yeah, it was great. The meeting was very nice, very nicely conducted by Toastmaster of the day, Ishikawa. It was fun.
Thank you so much. Really means a lot to have such a feedback. I hope you'll enjoy and all the best to the journey for Toastmasters. So have we got the results out yet? I'd like to confirm from the salary rounds. Okay, so I can see that the results are out. So starting with the best auxiliary role player, any guesses on who's the best auxiliary role player? You can unmute yourself and say the name of the person. There were 3 auxiliary role players, namely Grammarian, our counter, and yes, go on, Dahlia. According to you, I did not hear you clearly. Can you repeat?
Grammarian.
Grammarian. Okay, the best auxiliary role player is Tanushi Mundra, Grammarian itself. Kudos to you, Dahlia, for guessing it. Let's have a huge round of applause for a Grammarian, please. Please unmute yourself, guys, and have a huge round of applause. And moving on, the best role player. Okay. Before that, I like to call best table topic speaker for the day. Who's going to be the best table topic speaker among the Toastmasters?
Dahlia.
Okay, Dahlia is true. Yes, it is Dahlia. Congratulations, Dahlia, for winning the best table topics.
Right.
Moving on, the best table topic speaker among the guests.
Kanishka.
Anyone else wants to guess?
Kanishka.
Okay, I guess you all right. Kanishka is the best table topic speaker among the guests. Congratulations, Kanishka, on winning the best table topic speaker. We hope that you'll come up again, speak again, and soon become a Toastmaster. Okay, moving on. Best speaker. No, best speaker comes last, right? And moving on to the best evaluator award. Best evaluator award. So best evaluator for today is Toastmaster Dahlia again. Congratulations, Toastmaster Dahlia, on winning the best evaluator award. Moving on to the most improved speaker. Who's the most improved speaker according to you?
Jitesh, you take it yourself.
No, I haven't got, but Toastmaster Ishikawa, congratulations for winning the best speaker award. And now moving on to the best role player among the general evaluator, table topic master, and Toastmaster of the day.
T-Mod.
Obviously, TMOD, like Toastmaster of the day. Silent rounds, please check. Short forms are not permitted in a meeting. Toastmaster of the day, congratulations on winning the best role player award. So moving on to the last and the final best speaker award.
Sahil.
Okay. No, I was asking if I left any of the awards. Before that you prompted Sahil. Did I miss any awards?
Best
Okay. Best speaker award. Any guesses apart from Dahlia? Anyone?
It will be either Sahil or Unmesh.
Okay, the best speaker award goes to Toastmaster Sahil. Congratulations, Toastmaster Sahil, for winning the best speaker award. Now, I thereby declare the meeting closed. And now we can, if you want to stay, you can stay here for the